Welcome to the middle point of week number 8 in Project 70, where we have seen 6 cards and 7 players. How exactly is this going to work for the set going forward? This year, you have to fall in love with the artist first to follow the set because it is so big. There are so many random teams, players, and sets. Put your comment below for the print run guess on that Mickey Mantle by Andrew Thiel. Now don't leave your print run guess on this video. Go back and watch the Monday video and leave that print run guess for that Mickey Mantle by Andrew Thiel, because I cannot wait to find a foil version if I do, and possibly give it away, because this card could print very, very large. But welcome to episode number 23 of the Project 70 show. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website is where you want to go for everything related to Project 70. That is simply CRTsportscards.com. And now, before we get too far down the path of talking about the cards that released the past couple of days, I did want to publicly congratulate Randall Baker for winning that Chinatown Market Mark McGuire for me. Their print run guess, 1462, was the nearest to the print run of actually 1535. And there were very, very few people who were actually under that number. I was afraid there for a minute or two that we were not going to find a single person under that print run. So if you're a Game Loom man in the future, you might pick the number 1, although that's kind of cheating at the moment, but you definitely could win if you put 1. Actually, cheating is incorrect there. It's more of a hedge play when it comes to putting the number 1, just like the Price is Right. So we'll see what happens in the future. But on this giveaway, the Wednesday night episode giveaway from tonight and then going forward every Wednesday, will be exclusive to Discord, so check us out on Discord. The channel is just CRT space Sportscards. There's also going to be a link in the description below to join the server. So if you're looking to win a free card tonight, definitely jump over to Discord, because the winner will be exclusive to Discord. But let's get to it. Let's start talking about the cards that released over the past couple of days. The one great thing about Wednesday is that we have still not seen a single print run for the week, so our minds are kind of fresh, especially after this past Monday where we saw 12 of the 15 print runs and we saw a bunch of really bottom of the barrel print runs. The big question right now is, will some of these cards continue to fall underneath that sort of 1500 number, or are we going to see that number be the kind of the valley going forward in the set? One of the cards that over the past couple of days is definitely going to test that number, but maybe not, because the key right now with Project 70, and this goes back to my video on Monday, and I really hope you're able to check out that video. The key to Project 70 is understanding the cards from the artist's perspective. This is and will always be an artist set. This is not a player set, this is not a team set, or even a year set like many of us hoped it would be when we started this journey almost 2 months ago. This is an artist set, and it's about understanding what the artist is trying to communicate to us through their artwork. So let's get one of the easy ones out of the way, and this card actually comes at us from today's releases. This is Sean Wotherspoon with his Ichiro Suzuki. And of course, as an Ichiro fan, as a collector of his in 20 and 70, I'll of course be buying this card, but I really hope you check out Sean Wotherspoon's Instagram account, as he always includes a reasoning behind this card. And when you take a look at this card, what is the first thing you see? Of course, you see the colors, but the things that stands out to me the most here are the young Ichiro. You have the 90s Oakleys or early 2000s Oakleys. When it comes to Ichiro, you see his face. This is when he first came over to America to play baseball for the Mariners. But why is young Ichiro so significant here? When you go back to his inspiration of this card, he says as a kid growing up, he had at least 3 pages of baseball cards in his binder of Ichiro. He knew every stat, and 9-year-old Sean Wotherspoon would be tripping out that he is making a card of young Ichiro here. So this is the key. The key is the age of Ichiro relates directly to 9-year-old Sean Wotherspoon. This isn't about an old or older Ichiro who just retired like Quick did on his last release. This is about a young, impressionable kid growing up, being a baseball card collector, and now Sean Wotherspoon can celebrate Ichiro's coming to America to play baseball with his 3rd release. But now let's jump all the way over to the East Coast. Let's jump into New York City and talk about one of the New York players from the releases on Thursday. We have the Polar Bear making his appearance we have New York Nico releasing their third card in the set. Of course, their set is a New York-inspired set, but here it is, Pete Alonso. And when you take a look at this card, Pete Alonso may be celebrating the fact that he's finally in Project 70. I kind of figured he may be in the set earlier, but here we are in the early 100s, and there's still nearly 900 cards to go in the set, so I'm sure we'll see him a couple of more times. But this card, again, has the same characteristics as his first two cards in the set. They're going after the grit and texture of New York City, and there are a couple of corresponding things to all three of these cards. Number one, the first thing that stands out to me is the pink. Of course, on the Torres, it was the background. On the Jeter, it was the name. But this pink is around the face of, or the portrait of, Pete Alonso. And you also, of course, have the fields. Now, it's not always very evident in all the cards right now, but the fields all look the same. But where Naomi and where New York Nico really differ here on the Pete Alonso is with the orange, real faded background. It's an orange that really feels kind of nightlife-y. It's kind of been around the block a few times. It's not as crisp as it once was. But it also is the Mets orange. That's a really, really nice throw-in feature here for Pete Alonso's card. He's also celebrating a potential home run. There's a ball going over the field there on the left of the card, and we have Mr. Met on or in right field, just kind of hanging out, maybe entertaining the crowd during a pitcher exchange. But this is a card that's going to be very true to what Naomi and New York Nico are trying to do with their New York-inspired set or New York theme set here. The grit and the texture and the feel of New York City. But now, if the New York City nightlife is not really your thing, let's head over to the left coast back again. Let's check in with Lauren Taylor in Los Angeles. And I will tell you right now, Lauren Taylor broke every single one of my tracking documents on Excel for Project 70 by releasing this card. And I don't understand why this happened or why I didn't think about this earlier, because the artists have the freedom to do what they want with this set. I never thought about an artist releasing a two-player card, but here we are, the first one of the set. We have Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager in a 2013 Topps card. And I did check in on a couple of Lauren Taylor's videos where she was talking about the Bellinger, and I just expected to see a Cody Bellinger card. I didn't expect to see a two-player card here. But this begs the big question: will other artists follow her lead? Look, Lauren Taylor at the moment, from a fan perspective, has been one of the most open and transparent and communicative artists out there in the set. There's so many people right now who are fans of Lauren Taylor just because of the way she's communicated with our community here, and that has been great to see. But are other artists going to copy this move? We did kind of see this with Kishore last year on his final card, but that was more of a Nolan Ryan card with the other 19 players in the background. But this is the first artist to really break the mold of Project 2020 and Project 70. So I'm excited to see if she will continue this, or will other people follow her lead. So while you're busy checking out all of the insane detail of that Bellinger and Seager by Lauren Taylor, let's head up to Chicago and check in with Fucci here. Fucci releases his two-team card here. We have Dick Allen, their very first card in Project 70, 1970 Topps by Fucci. But if you're asking yourself, why is that a White Sox card, but yet he is in red? It's because of Dick Allen's career. And if you don't know who Dick Allen is, I highly, highly recommend you do some research on his career. He should be a Hall of Famer. He will more than likely be a Hall of Famer here in the future. But here is just a quick rundown of his career. He was a 7-time All-Star, AL MVP in 72. He was the NL Rookie of the Year in 64. He was the 2-time home run leader in 72 and 74. But here's the great thing: his number 15 for the Phillies was retired. So this is a player who won Rookie of the Year in 64 for the Phillies, but some of his just amazing offensive career years were when he was with the White Sox. So this is a card that really celebrates his entire career. Although he did play for multiple teams, within his career. This is a soon-to-be Hall of Famer, even though he unfortunately passed last year. But I think Fucci really does Dick Allen correct here by celebrating the White Sox and the Phillies. And now speaking about a future Hall of Famer, we have Pose releasing their third card with Derek Jeter. And what is the interesting characteristic here of Pose's cards so far in Project 70? It's every card has two different poses. This one, though, I have a little bit different of a take on. But when you think about Derek Jeter, what kind of mindset must you have to survive the New York market? You must have an incredible strength of will. You must have an incredible mind to survive just the insane media pressure around New York City. And if Jeter did not have that mind, he would not have that final game walk-off hit, which is what they're celebrating at the top of his head when it comes to Derek Jeter. So look, I'm not particularly a Jeter fan. I'm not necessarily a New York Yankee fan. I'm a Mariner fan at the end of the day. But if you're a Jeter fan, in my opinion, this celebrates everything that you should be celebrating about Derek Jeter, and that is his mindset and his will to win baseball games for the Yankees. And now ask yourself, would there be a Cody Bellinger, would there be a Dick Allen, or would there even be a Derek Jeter without us having a Babe Ruth before all of them many, many tens of years ago? But here we are, Ron English with the Controversy Award of the Week with his Babe Ruth. 1970 tops here. This, of course, is Ron English's second card in the set. His first card, of course, was that Yogi Berra. But what are the key features of this card? And you have to really understand Ron English and look at his artwork to really understand this very card. But when you take a look at Ron English's history, he does put out toys of his artwork. And I will admit, I probably spent way too much time today trying to find and surface the inspiration for this Babe Ruth. But I believe I found it from one of his toy releases from San Diego Comic-Con. We have the Menace Hulk here. And when you think about Babe Ruth, there was no other menace of the game, and I mean that in a very positive way, than Babe Ruth. There was nobody like Babe Ruth in the game of baseball when he was playing the game. He crushed opposing pitchers every single day of the week. And when you think about Ron English, somebody who will not do anything he's told to do, he will be his own man, he will be his own artist. This is another interesting, cool release from Ron English. The Yogi Berra was controversial. This Babe Ruth is controversial. I love it. It brings attention to the set. It gets people talking about it, whether it be good or bad. And if we have more conversation in the set around it, that can only be a massive win for this set. And so if you can't tell, I'm all about bending the imagination in ways that we did not think it can be bent before seeing these cards. Now here is how the contest is going to work. I'm buying the Ichiro today, but I'm also just going to buy the 3-pack. So on Discord right now, I'm going to be giving away both the Jeter and that Babe Ruth. So in the comments on Discord, I'll of course write this on the show channel here. Put your print run guess for each one of these cards. The person closest to the print run without going over will win the Babe Ruth and the Derek Jeter. So there'll be 2 winners, 1 for each card. And now looking forward to Thursday in Project 70, we are going to get the first look at the Monday print runs. How are the Monday cards going to fare versus the Thursday and the Friday cards this week, which were very, very low. We're also going to see the first Max Scherzer card in the set, so I cannot wait to see how that card sells. With that, have a fantastic Wednesday evening, and I'll see you back on Friday for episode number 24 of the Project 70 Show.